What up? Welcome to a special edition of You Read Me. Here with your boy, Big Facts, and the homie, Rudy. So, me and the homie, Rudy, we are both Philadelphia Eagles fans. But we do not agree. We do not agree we do not agree on the direction of the Eagles. We do not agree on the starting quarterback of the Eagles. We don't agree on most of the moves of the Eagles. So we decided to make an Eagles podcast to voice the differing opinions of Eagles fans, because we are definitely not on the same page.
Thanks.
So this episode will be touching on the Eagles draft for 2022. Eagles came in with the most draft picks of any NFL team. In my opinion, they made some good moves instead of drafting a bunch of motherfuckers that probably won't see the field. They use those draft picks to trade up and move around in the draft to consolidate to get 5 solid draft picks. Am I right?
Facts.
All right.
Who's 5?
So we're going to talk about each of the draft picks and tell you what we think about this Eagles draft.
First, I want to start with before we drafted.
Okay, before we draft. What happened?
With the A.J. Brown.
No, that wasn't before we drafted. We already had drafted Jordan Davis. See, you don't even be you be talking all this shit about the Eagles, and I be questioning if you was the Eagles fan.
There you go. Okay. So what's your thoughts on the trade?
Well, we got to go to Jordan Davis first, because we had a conversation about Jordan Davis. All right. Okay. So, Eagles drafted Jordan Davis at 13. I thought it was a great pick. I thought it was a great pick, number one, because he's super athletic for a defensive tackle. He was a run stopper at Georgia, right? That was his primary duties. But he ran like a 4.7.
I think it was 4.78.
He ran like a 4.78 at a defensive tackle. Now, I remember when we drafted Fletcher Cox from Mississippi State. And my point is, Fletcher Cox was a big run stopper in the SEC. Now, I'm a Big 12 fan. Rudy's an SEC fan. SEC think they're the best conference, but I tell them all the time they lack quality quarterbacks. You really don't need a pass rushing defensive tackle because most quarterbacks in SEC can't pass. You need run stoppers because they run 55 times a game. Now they get in the NFL, you can develop them into pass rushers because the NFL actually have people that can pass.
I give you that, but I like how you touched on that point of SEC quarterbacks not being good, considering our starting quarterback, Jalen Hurts, is an SEC quarterback before he had the one season at
we developed him and then made him a number one pick.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, I'm just saying these are facts. I mean, he came to quarterback U after being in the SEC. They didn't know how to use him. We developed him. He's not fully developed yet because he was stuck in the SEC and they don't pass the ball. So he didn't know how to throw the ball until he got to the Big 12. That's why I keep saying you can't judge Jalen Hurts now because he was in a conference where they just wanted him to run the ball. They wanted him to run the ball. They wanted him to make one read and run. And then when that wasn't good enough, who they blame? Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, most of it is usually just kind of his skill set, which is very limited. But at the same time, you can't say that the SEC doesn't groom quarterbacks because, if I'm not mistaken, the Super Bowl runner-up came from LSU.
The what?
Super Bowl runner-up.
Runner-up? Okay. Oh, so we count seconds now. That's a valuable. Yeah. We count seconds now, huh?
I mean, we're Eagles fans. We usually come in second.
I mean, I only count the championship. I don't remember nothing besides that.
With Jalen Hurts, probably is going to be NFC least co-champions or probably runner-ups.
I mean, what I saw was a damn near rookie quarterback lead us to the playoffs with limited weapons, 0 wide receivers, a running back that was hurt all year, an offensive line that was pretty much hurt all year and had 3rd and 4th strings in there. And I saw a playmaking quarterback that was able to throw for over 3,000 yards, run for 700 yards, have 16 touchdowns, have 10 rushing touchdowns, with no weapons. I mean, I guess that's not appreciated anymore. I mean, if you're not throwing for 5,000 yards and not making the playoffs, you're not doing anything.
I guess we can go with that. I also told you his stats, all them damn fumbles,
Okay.
The interceptions, and all this stuff as well.
I mean, it's true, but can you find a rookie quarterback that doesn't have that? I mean, Peyton Manning had a horrible rookie season. I mean, Tom Brady, he had a good rookie season, but it wasn't spectacular. That was really built on defense, right? There's not too many rookie quarterbacks that have a spectacular season. This was his third year, fourth year starting, and I would be concerned. That's Carson Wentz, right? This isn't Carson Wentz. This is his first year truly starting. But anyway, that's neither here nor there because you're going to get into a whole nother argument that we'll have later. But right now in the draft class, what do you think about Jordan Davis? Because you had a lot of negativity thrown his way.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I actually do like Jordan Davis. I didn't like him as a first pick, mainly because he's one-dimensional. Between him and Fletcher Cox, yes, we are going to be able to stop the run, hands down. The only thing
Hargrave too. And we got her son, Hassan Reddick.
Yeah, well, Hargrave.
We got Hargraves in there. We got Fletcher Cox. We got Hargraves. We also got Sweat, and Graham will be coming back.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't even want to get on Graham.
You don't like Graham?
I did not like when we drafted Graham.
I mean, that's years ago, though. I mean, he's pretty much outplayed that. I mean, nobody really liked it when it happened because most Eagles fans wanted Earl Thomas. So when we jumped up, everybody wanted Earl Thomas. We didn't take Earl Thomas. We took Brandon Graham. He struggled the first 2 or 3 seasons. But after that, how you not gonna like Brandon Graham? He made the Super Bowl strip on Tom Brady. Like,
he's had his moments. Hopefully, Jordan Davis doesn't take that same route.
Well, we definitely don't want him to take him that long to develop, but I don't know how you don't like Brandon Graham.
I guess my thing is, what plan do we have for Jordan Davis? I know he's going to be a run stopper, but you know, if we look at who wins the league most of the time, it's the Cowboys. Or lately,
no,
it's kind of been the Cowboys.
No.
The last 2 years.
2 years, but if we're looking at over history, it's been the Eagles.
Oh no, okay, not over history.
Recently with Carson Wentz and some bad shit going on, and it was Washington actually, because Dak got hurt. So it was Cowboys this year, Washington last year.
Okay,
because Dak got hurt.
I think the biggest thing is, you know, you really don't build a team to stop specific offenses. But I think with the Cowboys being kind of an air raid offense, which they're not, but Dak is prone to throwing the ball 50 times, we've got to have a pass rush. And so with us not really addressing the secondary, which is not bad on paper.
We lost Steven Nelson. I was hurt about that. I don't know why we wouldn't pay Steven Nelson.
I agree with you.
I mean, I'm not saying Steven Nelson was great, but I'm saying that the struggles that we've had with a second cornerback and finding someone that can just be a decent second cornerback and not get 10,000 pass interference calls. Steven Nelson was worth re-signing, right?
Oh no, totally agree.
I mean, that's my point. It's like, why wouldn't we re-sign Steven Nelson? Like, we got enough cap room. Like, what would we be holding out for not to sign Steven Nelson?
Obviously, we want to make a big play for a big fish. Got AJ.
Hey, we'll talk about that later. Don't go too far. Like, you gotta calm down, bro.
But no. Yeah.
So this is my point about Jordan Davis, right? Even if you're saying within the division, like the Eagles were one of the better run stopping teams last year.
Yep.
But against our division, it's essential that we stop the run because our biggest rival, the Cowboys, has Zeke. And in that first game, they kind of dominated because they got Zeke and Tony Pollard. So I don't think having a run-stopping player is bad in our division. That's number one. Number two, I think we've already addressed the pass rushing situation when we signed Hassan Reddick. Hassan Reddick is a pass rushing defensive end, linebacker, whatever you want to put him, right? Mm-hmm. I like Graham coming back. Hopefully Sweat can come back healthy. I don't really know the medicals on him. I know he has some.
I have high expectations for him. I love him.
If he comes back, that's a steal. That's a steal to how he got in and he took a risk on. And I think Sweat is, it's not even close. The Sweat is better than what's that bum's name that's on the right that we drafted in Tennessee? We ended up re-signing him. Derek Barnett. Derek Barnett came in for Tennessee. We had high hopes for him because he had beat what's not Julius Peppers? Who went to Tennessee? The big pass rusher. Did he play for Tennessee Titans?
Curse.
Yeah, he beat Javon Curse's sack record. So we had high expectations for Derek Barnett, but Derek Barnett has not panned out. I thought that he would take the path of Graham, right? Underperform for 2 years and then break out. We haven't seen that breakout yet. And I don't think it's coming.
I was just about to say that. It's not coming.
Yeah, Josh Sweat came after an injury prone, having a bad injury at Florida State, worked his way and has surpassed Barnett by miles. But if you put Graham, you put Barnett, but I don't even know because even with Sweat, Reddick got to be out there. So it's probably going to be Graham, Reddick, Hargrave, and Fletcher Cox to start. Then you got the second wave. So that's why I like Jordan because he's coming in on the second wave. We signed Fletcher back for a 1-year contract. He's not going to stay longer than that, right? Because we're not going to keep paying him $15 million and not getting no sacks.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Right now, Fletcher is pretty much a run stopper, but Fletcher has a skill set where he can teach Jordan Davis how to get to the pass rusher. And Jordan Davis isn't going to get the same respect as Fletcher because Fletcher's still getting double teamed, right? I hope we sign Kerrigan back because I liked Kerrigan in that little small role. But I think that saying that Jordan Davis is one-dimensional is just limiting him to what happened in college. I don't think that his athleticism limits him. I don't think that his speeds limits him. I just think that's the role that he played at Georgia because all those things says that he should be a great pass rusher. Really, all those things says that he's not even just only a defensive tackle. You should be able to move him. Now we need to get his weight down because he's in like the 350s. 348. You need to get him down to probably 325. And then that'll be a player you can move inside, outside because that speed of 4.7. And if you get him down 30 pounds, that shit might go down.
I don't know. That's the thing I love about him. Now, granted, I don't know with the 4-man front. He usually doesn't look as good. But you put him like nose tackle, that guy can go A to C real quick. So I do love that about him.
He eats up double teams, and that's what I'm being heavy. But I'm thinking in the pros, and we have a good defensive line coach. We're really good at developing defensive linemen. That's probably the only thing that we're really good at developing. I mean, we're being honest. The only thing we're good at developing is defensive line. So I trust what they can do. But I think when he gets, he'll show signs second half of the season. But I think next year in year 3, I think him to be. I think he'll be on the second wave. Nah, he's not gonna start. Who will you start over? You got Brandon Graham. He's not gonna start over Graham. You got Fletcher Cox. He's not gonna start over Fletcher Cox. You got Hargrave. Hargrave is actually a beast. He's probably one of our best defensive linemen. So the only place he would have to start is because you got Hassan Reddick. So you got Reddick, you got Hargrave, you got Fletcher Cox, and then on the outside you got Brandon Graham. So the only place you can think that he might start is if he's taking Brandon Graham's spot on the left, and he's not. He's not even small enough for it. So that means that he's on.
Move Fletcher a couple of times where he played the 5, where you had Hargraves kind of
I mean, he can come in some packages, but we're talking about starting. If we're talking about starting now, one thing the Eagles do we like to come in waves. So then he would be a part of that second wave with Sweat, and then you have Barnett.
So I wouldn't want that combination.
But you're gonna have Sweat and Barnett's gonna be out there unless somebody beat him. Then you're gonna, I don't know the other defensive tackle, but then I'm pretty sure you're gonna have Jordan Davis in there in that second wave. Now he can work his way into some sub packages, maybe subbing out for Barnett. But I think that he's gonna be developed as a premier defensive tackle pass rusher.
Oh no, totally agree.
Then why are you hating on him if you know he can be a pass rusher? He has all the skill sets to be a pass rusher. He just wasn't used that way. He was used as a nose tackle in Georgia's defense because they were so fast to eat up double teams. So if you drop him even 20 pounds and put him on the end in a 4-3, he should be able to eat up one-on-ones right off top.
I think it's going to be a combination. It depends on how much you play Fletcher and him together. Because, like you said, Fletcher demands that you got to double him. Single one-on-one, Fletcher's going to either bull rush or swing through. And I also think Fletcher's kind of underrated. Everybody.
He took a lot of double teams this year, and that allowed Hargrave to eat. So when everybody's talking about the low-end sacks, I think that's because he ate the double teams, left Hargrave one-on-one, and Hargrave, it's the first time he had another defensive tackle that could do all the heavy lifting. And Hargrave shined because Fletcher Cox ate those double teams. I'm actually, the reason why I'm excited about Jordan Davis, because I think that this is the first time that we've had a defensive tackle that's versatile to go inside and out. Like I don't remember another defensive tackle that we've had. Like Fletcher Cox always been inside. I don't remember a defensive tackle that we had that we could move to end that also makes it better for doing stunts. You know what I mean? Because he's quick enough and agile enough where we could change our defense. I was a big fan of Jim Johnson. Like I love the blitz schemes when we used to play one-on-one man. But now we're just doing straight defensive line 4-man. And if we're gonna do that, then I think our stunts have always been weak. You know what I mean? We've always had some of the weakest stunts. And if it never really got to the pass rusher, but it's always opened up big ass run games. And so that's what I'm looking for. So versatility, I think with Sweat there, I think he's versatile. I think with Jordan Davis, I think this could be changing our defensive line to make it where we're not doing that fucking wide 9 shit. And we can do some different type of stunts and things like that. We weren't as versatile as we are now in the defensive line.
I think with that wide 9, that's what you kind of have to go with. No, not really Barnett. Barnett sucks at 9, 7, 5, whatever you put him at. But I think Graham is actually a better 9, and it actually keeps him. If you look at all his damn penalties, he gets less penalties if he's already outside of the damn box.
Right.
So. What grade would you give that draft or that draft pick for Jordan Davis?
At pick 13? I mean, I think I'd give it a B plus. The reason I give it a B plus is because Jermaine Johnson was still there, and I don't know why his medicals forced him down. Right, and that's like us, and I don't like when we do that. I don't like when we look for need instead of the best talent. Right, I think we took Jordan Davis because we're looking at him to be a Fletcher Cox replacement, as opposed to just taking the best talent, even if the medicals are there. Now they might have been thinking they could grab him just like they did with Dean. We'll get into that later in like the second round. But I think if Jermaine is there and he's falling, I think we should take him, right? Because we're not secure with whatever Derek Barnett's going to give us. And if you can get Jermaine, you know Brandon Graham is on his last leg. So I don't know why we wouldn't just go with Jermaine, because I don't know what really made him drop. Did you see what really made him drop? Was it medical or outside? What was that?
I said it was just basically kind of Mel Kiper said something around his numbers kind of went down, bad technique.
That shit you can coach.
Yep. I think they said the pros were like his athleticism, but I think the big cons is kind of technique, endurance, and there was something else that they said.
That's just easy to fix than medical. Like that's just motivation, getting in shape, coaching technique. So that's why I'm saying that's the only reason why. But that's the only player that I would have took over. If you're looking at defensive line, which every Eagles fans know, that's what we were drafting. We were definitely getting defensive line. There ain't no. If you know Eagles, you know that if you got multiple first round picks, you're getting defensive lineman, 100%. So if you know that, I felt like it was a gift for Jermaine to fall, and we go with Jordan Davis. And I think that upset maybe some Eagles fan because he was right there on the board. Then we went Jordan Davis, like you would say, well, Jordan Davis is limited, right? But then Jermaine Johnson was a top 5 pick at one point in time, and now you're talking about all these other things. So if we have one of the best development teams for defensive line in the league, why wouldn't we go ahead and take a chance on them and try to develop them? Because it's going to be competition. You're not going to get on the field unless you can produce. And that breeds competition. So that'll be the only thing. What grade would you get that pick?
I gave it a B-, only because what's the strongest kind of area for us, which is the D-line.
Yeah.
And so I liked Jordan Davis, didn't love it because he kind of one-dimensional. But I don't know. I would have really wished we would have took Kyle Hamilton. And I think that's what I had my heart set on. Once we moved up, I was like, we're either going to get Jameis, which I was pissed off that we didn't wait until after Detroit made the pick. Because I really think we moved up to get Jameson. And Detroit took him.
I don't think so. I think that AJ Brown was always sitting there. I think AJ Brown was sitting there. I think Debo was sitting there. I never thought we were moving up to get a receiver. I never thought we were moving up because AJ Brown has been in the news for the Eagles for the longest. I think that the Titans were trying to see how the draft would fall if they could get someone they liked. And I think when they saw how the draft was unfolding, there was enough talent still left there for them to say, well, we can trade AJ Brown and get someone on our board at wide receiver that we like.
Makes perfect sense.
But I don't think we ever bro, come on, be for real. When the last time we moved up to get a fucking wide receiver? Yes, sir. You know we only move up to get defensive linemen, and we moved up. You don't even pay attention to the Eagles, bro. There's no way that you thought that we was moving up to get a fucking.
That's the one thing where we needed though.
I mean, it's something that we may have needed, but it's not. It's never been a priority. Going back to Donovan McNabb, that's never been a priority. Like, we'll try to get a receiver, but we're never going to move up in the draft to get a wide receiver. That's not going to happen. Maybe in the second or third round, maybe. You're never going to see the Eagles move up to get a wide receiver. It's always going to be defensive line or offensive line and maybe a quarterback.
No, I will agree with you on that. I really feel like, of course, we dropped the ball last year. Drafting Jalen Reagor with Justin Jefferson being out there on the board. And so
and that's drafting for fucking need type shit where you're saying that we got Goddard in the inside, so we didn't need another inside player. That shit even sounds stupid when I say it now. Sounds stupider now. Say it like this is still makes me mad. They say that shit. Like, oh, 2 people can't play in the inside. Yes, they can. They most definitely can. But whatever, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna stick with B-.
Yeah. I mean, only thing I would say with your take is if that's what you thought they were gonna do, you're setting yourself up for disappointment anyways.
Oh, I had low expectations for Howard.
But I also think that when they traded up, I did get excited, and I didn't know. Like, I remember seeing Jordan Davis at the combine, so I remember thinking, "Damn, he's a monster." But I had heard more about Jermaine, so I thought that we were trading up to get Jermaine because he was falling, and I thought, "Oh shit, like we're definitely gonna get defensive linemen, so that's what we're trading up for." And that's not what happened. But then when I start looking more at it and then start arguing with you, which forces me to go look at stats, I was like, oh, nah, that's a Fletcher Cox replacement. Fletcher Cox, Hargrave, they can teach him how to pass rush. If he already got the run down, if he's used to taking double teams as a nose tackle, a 4-3 is going to be legit for him. Like, even if you say that he wasn't a good pass rusher, right? Going from nose tackle to being in a 4-3 shouldn't make you a better pass rusher because you're not getting double teamed as much, especially because you're a rookie. You have to earn that respect to get double teamed. So if he subs out for a Hargrave or if he subs in for Fletcher Cox, they're not going to double team him. He should be the one working one-on-one to be able to make the play to get on film. So like you said earlier, you thought he was going to start. So you do have some respect for him. What the problem is, you're disappointed because they didn't take who you wanted them to take. But you ain't the damn GM, so you got to chill.
Oh, no. I totally get that. But I will say this. I cannot wait to see him be a true 3 technique, which I don't think they will put him. I don't think they will put him there.
Where do you think they're going to put him?
He's got to be a shade. I don't think he's ready for that. Like, it's easy to be a nose tackle and dominate the center.
Right.
Because that's probably, I don't know, center's probably your most agile outside of one of your guards that pulls the most.
Yeah. So we spent a lot of time on Jordan Davis just because we disagreed on Jordan Davis the most. So
we disagreed on this next pick too.
Well, no, because our next pick was actually AJ Brown.
Oh, the trade.
Yeah, it's the trade.